Cody from BassBullies TV here, and today we are out fishing pre-spawn post-frontal conditions. I'm going to show you guys how I approach pre-spawn bass, what I look for on the lake and everything. It's going to be kind of like a bass fishing breakdown video. I'm going to show you guys how I catch fish this time of the year. Give you a rundown. The water temperature, it's 52 degrees. This past week we were having very high temperatures, just like the majority of the U.S. anyway. We were having 75-degree days and 55-degree nights. And now just take that and subtract 25-degree weather. It's not very ideal. It's post-frontal during spawn or pre-spawn. But those fish, they're already starting to move towards the backs of the creeks. They're not really going back deep. They're still looking for, places to spawning areas. So that's what I'm going to target. I'm going to target points leading into spawn areas and spawning areas. I'm going to look at flats, shallow pockets and coves that are protected by a northern wind. That's the biggest thing, that are protected by a northern wind, whether it be north, northeast, northwest, because the northern wind is the coldest wind. And anything that can be protected by that is a great spawning pocket, cove, whatever you want to call it. But stay tuned, and I hope you guys learned something if you haven't learned anything already. And I will break down what I am using, how I'm using it, and all that other stuff. One thing I like to do is when I'm searching for pre-spawn bass is right here I got a spawning cove, or spawning pocket, whatever you want to call it. This is the main channel out here to our right, and right here is a point. It's a pretty defined point, and what I like to do is I usually take a search bait. In this case, it's the Alabama rig. It's just, some people despise it, but you can't deny that it doesn't catch fish, and it usually catches pretty good fish. But you take a search bait, whatever you want to throw, whether it be a Rapala, Shad Rap 7, a Wiggle Wart, some small crankbait like that, or if you want to throw something like this. Sometimes a rattle trap will work, and if it's a little bit colder, I'd probably go with a jig. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working these points, searching for bass, getting up kind of close to the cover as I can. And this point is very shallow and it drops off. See, I'm sitting in 18 foot of water, casting into 2 to 3 foot of water. And those fish, they'll usually hang out on those breaks, because whenever they're getting ready to go into pre-spawn, and when they first start the beginning stages of pre-spawn, they sit on those breaks more than anything. Because, for example, right now, we have a cold front that came in, so they're either going to tuck up tight to the cover since it's high pressure, bluebird skies, or they will go a little bit deeper. They'll drop back down on those breaks and those drop-offs. There's one. That's a good one too. See, off this point, guys. That's a smallmouth. That's about a 3.5, 4 pound smallmouth, guys. She's fat, healthy. She fought very good. That's a typical pre-spawn fish. The fish is probably 18 to 19 inches. Now, one thing I noticed, this point is very shallow. All this through here is very shallow. So I casted. It acts like a flag. It slowly tapers off. I'm sitting in 9 foot of water right now, and it just slowly tapers off, and I started fan casting right here. And that's one thing about this Alabama rig. It shows the bigger fish. You might not get as many bites off of it like you would with a rattle trap or a Rapala 7, Shad Rap 7, but the bigger ones show up with this Alabama rig. Alright guys, as y'all saw, I just caught that smallmouth on a point leading into a spawning bay or a spawning cove. And I didn't get any other bites right there, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit a couple more spots points going into spawning cove, see if there are fish on them, or if that was just a lone fish. If it's one fish, it's not a pattern. If it's two fish, it is. That's what Gene Jensen says, and I believe that is true, because a fish is a fish. If you see one doing one thing and the other one is doing a complete opposite thing, that one is just probably dumb. But if you got two doing the same thing, and with however many fish you have in your lake, that's probably the same for hundreds of fish. So I'm just going to hit another point. If it works out, I'm just going to continue hitting points. If it doesn't work out, I'm just going to keep on going into the backs of them, or I might hit some main lake stuff. There's one. Okay, that fish came right off a point leading into a big spawning bay. I mean, this is a big spawning bay. He's not big, but he's a fish. There's two fish on the point. I've had multiple bites on a main channel bank. This is leading into the main channel bank. There's one. It's another good smallmouth. Woo-hoo-hoo. Make sure I'm recording. Once again, I fished inside the points, inside the cove, and once again at the point. Oh my goodness. Good Lord, what a freaking smallmouth. Okay, I do not know if I have a scale in here or not. That right there is why you throw an Alabama rig this time of the year. I'm using the Shane's Baits Mini Blades of Glory. Guys, y'all saw my 3.5 pound smallmouth I caught earlier. This smallmouth right here is every bit of 4. Yeah, we're going to say 179 kilograms. I do not know what that is in pounds. I don't know why the scale is in kilograms, but isn't she just beautiful? That smallmouth is 19, 20 inches, if not bigger. Let's get a release on this old girl. There she goes. That's why you throw Alabama rigs during the pre-spawn. People frown upon it, but it catches fish, and it catches big fish. The smallmouth that showed up this weekend, I caught, that'll be 4 smallmouth over 18 inches in the past 2 days, which is not much, but you gotta think it's post frontal, major cold front, 20-25 degree difference from the 4 days before to these past 2 days. It's warming up a little bit now. I want to say it's about mid 50s. All right, guys, as y'all just saw, I just caught that smallmouth. It wound up being 1.79 kilograms, which I just done the calculations. It's just like a hair under 4 pounds. It's like 3.9 something. So I caught a 4 pound smallmouth today. I caught another one that's about 3.5. Just 2 very good quality smallmouth today. I talked a little bit to you guys. Oh God, my boat just crashed into a tree. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something. I showed you guys how I tackle pre-spawn bass. Some of the baits I use, I talked a little bit about them, but the main one I use is the Alabama rig. Just because, I mean, yes, it's frowned upon against some people, but you still got to find the fish. You still got to know if they want blades or if they don't want blades, what size swim baits, if you want subtle action, wide wobble, you know, just all kinds of other stuff. There's so many variations, there's so many details to bass fishing, and, you know, it's anything you can do to get an upper hand on the fish and on other anglers, that's what you need to do, especially if you're in a tournament, if you're a tournament angler like I am. I showed you guys what I've done to find pre-spawn bass. I look for banks and pockets that are protected from a northern wind. I look for, you know, deeper drops on those banks as well that lead into spawning bays. And I tackle the points for the most part, and I will fish inside of them. And that's what worked for me today, were the points, and just stuff like, you know, the deeper points actually worked out a little bit better. The ones that where they had a very noticeable break into deeper water. I feel like fish relate to that a lot this time of the year and during the winter months. But that's all I got for you guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, catch 'em big.